running plays for 63 yards, 7 passing plays for 38 yards. So Kentucky has 101 yards to Georgia's 51 at the end of the first quarter of play.
And on that drive, Phil, I thought they showed us a little bit of everything, and they certainly showed more than one running back. We knew we'd have a fight coming up here, and the coaches tried to warn them. Here we are, 3rd and only 1 on our own 29. Dogs into a power eye thing, but now we run Henderson slowly in motion. 2 tight ends. Going to give it to Worley at the tackle. He got it over the 30 to the 31. Worley came in and got about 2 or 2.5. Had a little hole at left guard and left tackle. As you know, the guards and tackles are shifted around. We have a patched-up offensive line. Christian Holt, the linebacker, weighs 240. Albert Burks from Monroe, Louisiana, the right corner, hit him. First down for Georgia, and the ball is up on the 32. Worley got 3.
That's his 7th carry. He has 28 yards.
Dogs up to the line. We got the cold north wind on our back right now. Kentucky in blue. We're going left to right as you look at your radio. Got a wide slot to the left. First down on the 32. Wayne Johnson fakes. Back to throw. Looking hard to the sideline. Dropped by a man wide open on their 46. Arthur Marshall. Arthur Marshall turned totally wide open on the Kentucky 46 in the far sideline. Probably threw it a little hard. You could see him wind up as he threw it. He just drilled it down there. Incomplete. You talk about a receiver wide open.
There wasn't anybody within 5 or 6 yards of him from any direction. He had to leap in the air, but it was right there in his arms.
Second down, and that hurt the Dogs. 2nd and 10 on their own 32. Georgia getting beat 7-0. High in a slot left, second quarter. Going to give it to Worley, trying to pick his way in at right guard, and maybe 3.5. He barely crossed the 35, leaning in the right guard. It should be 3rd down and about 7 to go. Mike Chisholm, a substitute right guard, the first man that hit him. Lauren, what do you got?
That's unlike Arthur Marshall. He just took his eyes off the ball. He had so much running room. I think he was trying to get moving too quickly. Good job by Wayne Johnson. But here we are, another one of those 3rd down situations. Georgia needs to convert.
The gain was 4. We're on the 36, 3rd down and 6 on our own 36. Kentucky put 5 men on the line, and they're rushing Johnson, and he had to throw it away. He still wound up knocked down very, very hard back on his 25. He went to Worley over on the right side. Kentucky had a couple of backs over there with him. Tony Massey, the left end, really knocked him down. Larry Munson, along with Dick Payne and Carolyn Christian, the spotters. Bill Schaefer and I with Rick Shaw and Hugh Christian as engineer-producers. Lauren Smith on the sideline on a cold day, but the sun is out. Kentucky leading 7-0 early second quarter. They just stopped us again. They only put 6 men on the line, and Hester kicked a beautiful high, long spiral. And taken on the 23 and knocked back to the 20. That's Chris Talbert, the punt returner from Pensacola, Florida. Hester got a real good kick in there and put the Cats down close to their own 20. Time called here. We'll be back after the 60-second network break on the Bulldog Network.
Here's another reason Georgia homeowners feel better with State Farm. Homeowners who have been with State Farm over 3 years are getting a discount. So if you've been with State Farm over
2 or 3 different schools and wound up here, 2nd and 4. Cats on their own 28. They put a man slowly in motion with a slot. 4 coming back, and we're going to rush him, and Tarditz might have him inside the 20. Richard Tarditz and Wycliffe Lovelace both there got Glenfore way back around the 20. A sack of about 8-9 yards from the 28 back to the 20, an 8-yard sack as he came out to the left. Norman Cowens had come flying up in there, too, from an outside spot. 3rd down. Lauren, what do you got?
Well, Georgia's doing a lot of stunning on defense, and they plan to blitz a little more. They haven't shown the blitz that much here in the first half, but that time they went in and got the quarterback, and the Georgia defensive coaches feel that they can get to the quarterback and that they must.
3rd and 12. Kentucky on their own 20. They're going against a tough wind. They don't like what they see. They decide to call time. Glenfore, the Kentucky quarterback, calls time. They lead 7-0 early second quarter. Timeout, 60-second network break on the Bulldog Network.
When it comes to record carries, one airline is an outstanding performer in the field. Delta. With over 3,900 flights a day to more than 240 cities, Delta and the Delta Connection fly you to more places more often than any other airline system. See your travel agent or call Delta. Make Delta your most valuable player.
Kentucky deep in their own territory. Last time they had the ball, they had a nice drive of 14 plays. Glenn Ford, who is normally a 45% passer, has completed 5 out of 7 thus far today, and Kentucky has shown a variety of offenses. They've used some motion. They've gone with the one-back set. That's what they're going to do right now. In fact, they're in a sort of a wing tee.
Yeah, they are. They had 3-men line to the left. Now they put one in motion. They got a one-back set on 3rd and 12. Glenn Ford coming back, looking. Down the middle. Complete. He hung on even though he really racked him on the 39. He might be hurt. John Bolden, a split-end sophomore out of Louisville, up very high. 2 dogs racked him viciously on the 39, Carswell and Collins. And Kentucky threw a 19-yarder and got out of the hole, and the receiver who caught it rolled over and over, but he hung on the ball. He was really reaching high with his arms up, totally vulnerable. Got racked by 2 men in right, and then he rolled over and over 5 yards all the way out to the 44 where he is down. And Kentucky got out of the hole. They were 3rd and 12 on their own 20 when they whipped that thing. At this moment, what they're showing us is that they can do a little bit of everything. There can be no doubt why they got so close to LSU and Alabama, yes, and even to Auburn on those 3 major ones. Now they help Bolden up. He's all right, and he'll come off the field.
That was a great catch, wasn't it, Larry?
Yeah, that high, boy. I tell you what, you got to shut your ears and not hear the footsteps when you get up there and stretch out like that. 7-0 Kentucky leads early 2nd quarter, and the Cats men are giving us fits.
They've already got over 100 yards passing today, Larry, on that particular play. That puts them over the century mark as far as passing yardage.
David Crane, the number 2 center, is the guy now with the ball. Ford is going to give it to the tail, and they run Alfred Rawls outside, and we knock him down there. Vince Guthrie came flying up, and Hiawatha Berry, the alternating nose in there, hit him. Alfred Rawls of Pitts, Georgia, slanting at the right tackle. He moves very fast.
Yeah, he's got a quick start.
He went from the 39 to the 41. He got 2 second down and 8. 7-0 Kentucky leads. They drove 85 yards, most of it on the ground late in the first quarter. Dogs early drove 50 yards, all on the ground, and the wind blew a field goal barely off to one side. Kentucky going against that cold north wind. They're in an eye. They got 3 wideouts. Here comes Ford sprinting left. We're chasing him from behind. He fires, and it is complete on our 44 down to the 40. Big Charlie Darrington, the giant tight end of Tifton, Georgia. 6'3", weighs 224. Rusty Beasley and Ben Smith back in the Georgia. The secondary hit him. They put it on the 41. And the Cats just got 18 more yards from the 41 to the 41. Kentucky driving again, and they lead 7-0. Dogs are going to have to come to life pretty soon on defense, or they're going to dig a deep hole. Ford giving it to the tail. Straight ahead, Al Baker, the youngster from Cadiz, Kentucky at left guard for maybe 4. I know he got 3. Let's see if he got 4. Wycliffe Lovelace hit him. Bill Goldberg also hit him. Richard Tarditz reaching in there. They put it on the 38. Give him 3, 2nd and 7. Kentucky in blue, Georgia in white. And the Cats come up to the line. They've come all the way down to the Georgia 38, and they had been in a hole. Now they do a lot of shifting to go to an eye. One wide out wide to the right. They fake to the tail. Ford is going to sprint to the right. Tardit's going to get him as he throws incomplete. Tardit's had the pressure, chase him 12, 13 yards back behind the line. He threw it incomplete. Then for Darren Bilberry, the number 2 fullback. Now Kentucky again, Phil, is going to have a big 3rd down play, and they've been making these things.
Yeah, they sure have. There was good pressure on Ford that time, and I don't know whether he was trying to throw it away or not. He did have a receiver on that side of the field. Right now he's 7 out of 10 throwing the football for 119 yards, and that time he started to sprint to the right, and the Georgia defense really came crashing in and made him do what he didn't want to do.
The Cats now on our 38 and got a yard during that snap. They're 3rd down and 7. Glenn Ford dropping back to throw. Firing, and it is intercepted by the Dogs on the 27-yard line. Morris Lewis again, I believe, driving to about the 45 or 50 and run out of bounds by a flanker. Morris Lewis again from Peachtree City, Georgia, grabbed his 2nd interception of the day to save the Dogs. And finally got shoved out on the far side. Got shoved so hard into the Georgia bench there was a little pushing after the play. And the Dogs apparently wound up shoving. There was 5 or 6 blue uniforms that got in the middle of the Georgia bench. after the tackle, and the Dogs didn't like the way he got knocked out. It's Georgia's ball in their own 46, and that's 2 interceptions for Morris Lewis. Georgia's ball.
The pass was thrown to what looked like a wide-open receiver, but Lewis took a very deep drop, and it ended up settling right into his hands. So a nice defensive move by the linebacker.
Georgia on their own 46, got a slot. Here comes Wayne Johnson running right. Dumps it to Worley in front of him, 46-50. Wow, he hit a guy headgear to headgear and got knocked 7 yards to the right on the Kentucky 48. Did he get bounced to the right, Jim Worley? Massey, the defensive end, and David Johnson, the corner. We threw a little running pass out here to Worley. He really got hit by the Kentucky bench and knocked out on the Kentucky 47. Got 6 yards, 2nd and 4.
But I'll tell you one thing that Worley did. He watched that ball all the way into his hands. He made sure he had it before he ran.
Wide slot to the left. Wayne Johnson looking at a 5-2 defensive setup. Going to give it to Henderson, who cuts the tackle. 5, 10, 12 yards down to the 35. Scott Adams pulling guard, blocking. Tim Worley also threw a block. And Henderson just shot on that play and crossed the 35, call it the 34. Randy Holleran, the linebacker, grabbed him from behind. Here's Georgia down for the second time today, but they're trailing 7-0. They're now on the Kentucky 34, just outside the 34. Dogs up to the line with an eye slot right. And Kentucky's in a 6-2. And we hand to a short man, Henderson, and they jam him up and knock him back 3 yards or so. 4 or 5 blue shirts. Henderson penetrated about a yard from the 34 to the 33. And that's all. Doug Hauser and Vic Adams on the right side of the line, and Jay Dortch the end. Everybody on that side. Dogs are 2nd and 9. They've come down to the Kentucky 33. The wind blew a field goal away for us early in the game. Kentucky's driven 85 yards for theirs. They lead 7-0. Two men split. Wayne Johnson looking at a 5-man defensive front, almost a 6. Going to give it to the fullback on a little trap. Henderson down to the 27, maybe the 26. Had a little hole in there. He came in behind Wheeler and Shelley and Scott. Oliver Barnett, the big 285 tackle, and Tony Massey, the end, pulled him down on the Kentucky 26. 3rd down, 1.5 yards. We've been running a lot of Sadowski and Simmons, 2 tight ends. Georgia 3rd down, a short 2, maybe 1.5 yards. Wishbone, and the Cats are in a tight 5-4. Johnson runs an option and gets 5 yards, 6 down to the 20. At left guard and left tackle, Alfonso Ellis and Keith Henderson blocking in front of him. We opened a hole at the left tackle where Will Culley and Shelley Anderson are. And Wayne on a wishbone thing, they put it back to the 21, got 5 yards. Mark Sellers and Albert Perks in the secondary for Kentucky. The free safety in the right corner hit him. Now Rodney Hampton in, give Worley a little rest. 1st down outside the Kentucky 20. 7:39 to go in the half. Kentucky leads 7-0. Cats have got 6 men on the line. Wayne Johnson, long count at the quarter. Go to the fullback, and Henderson went in to left tackle and got maybe 3. The hole was not there.
Stopped by Jay Dortch.
Here comes Alfonso Ellis back in at the full. He was running behind Will Culley and Shelley Anderson. Got about 3, 2nd and 7. Hauser, the tackle over there, played it well. Mark Sellers, a safety, helping him. Jay Dortch, the end next to him. He didn't quite get 3. He got 2.5. 2nd down. Cats lead 7-0. Middle of the second quarter. Dogs up to the line. Got an eye with 2 men split. Thomas and Sean Hummings. Cats are up in a 6. We run the left wide out in motion over to the right side of the field, and we go to Hampton, and Hampton drives over the 15 down to about the 13. We had a quick hole at left guard, and he went from the 18.5. He got 5, maybe 6 yards. Rodney really hit that hole quick. Now to the right tackle, Craig Bensinger, the number 2 linebacker on the right. Kentucky's got a man down with the ball on the 13. 6:37 to go. Kentucky has an injured player. Kentucky leading 7-0. It will be 3rd down and 2.5 when the time comes back in. And now here will be an official timeout. Timeout, 60-second local break on the Bulldog Network.
These old-fashioned hamburgers has just what you need before or after the game. A delicious single with everything dressed just like you want it, cooked when you order it. Plus, Wendy's has a complete salad bar, piping hot chili, and potatoes with your choice of toppings. At Wendy's, they treat you right every time, and nobody's going to treat you better. Wendy's, located at 20 Bullsboro Drive in Newnan. Drive over just before or right after the game. Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers. They're going to win you over.
These days, everyone wants to be healthy and have a good time. Now, Cycle South has a way for you to do both. Quality mountain bikes from $299 are the hottest outdoor recreational vehicle today. They go anywhere. There are no limits. With 18 speeds, it's got the gears to get you from here to there, no matter where there is. It's the ultimate play bike. Check it out at Cycle South in the Midway Plaza on Highway 85 in Riverdale.
Jerry Bell was shaken up on the play. He's all right. Craig Benzinger made the last tackle. He's from Clarkston High School, where he was a teammate of Steve Harmon's, and they both played for Coach Tommy Stringer. And right now, let's go down to Lauren on the sideline.
Well, it's a long two. It's not quite 2.5, but it's a long two. And you've noticed here on this drive, Georgia's gotten good play out of the fullback. All these defenses sort of try to stop the wide stuff, so they're doing a good job of getting the fullback in there.
Third down, we're in the wishbone, and Johnson follows the fullback in at left guard and crosses the 10 to maybe the 9. He got 3.5 yards and a first down. We ran the wishbone and got about 3.5 or so, and a big first down now and goal to go. Adams and Hauser on the right guard and right tackle stopping the play. Goal to go on the 9.5. 7-0 Kentucky, and there's 6:20 to go here in the half. Dogs up to the line. Rodney Hampton is the tail. We put two receivers, Hummings and Thomas, wide out on the right. We're in an I, and the Cats are in a 6-man front. Wayne Johnson going to give it to Hampton at left guard, and they grabbed his ankles coming in. He barely got a couple of yards. Went at left guard for 2 yards. It'll be second down and about 7 for a touchdown. Jay Dortch, a senior defensive end, the guy that hit him. Pause 10 seconds here for station identification.
You're listening to University of Georgia football action on WCOH AM 1400 and WMKJ Magic 96.7 FM, Newnan, Atlanta. The sports voice for South Metro Atlanta.
Ball is on the 8. He got 1.5 yards. Second down, 8 for a touchdown. Wishbone with everybody in. We run the fullback, and Henderson drove very hard over the 5 to the 3, and then they hit him awfully hard. See his body bounce when they rack him. Henderson got 5 right up the middle. Off a wishbone fullback power thing. 7-0 Kentucky leading. Well, the blocking and tackling in this one, these two clubs really hitting each other. Kirk Warner, for the first time in a few weeks, going to try and come in and play some tight end. Randy Holler and Craig Bensinger, the number 2 linebackers, hit him. I still mentioned Bensinger from Stone Mountain. Dogs up to the line, and we might want to call time here as we walk up to the line, and we do. Third down on the 3-yard line. Georgia calls time with 4:57 to go in the half, and it's 7-0. We'll be back after the 60-second local break now on the Bulldog Network.
At Newnan Savings Bank, you're somebody special.
You are somebody special.
It takes a special team of bankers to accommodate your every financial need here at Newnan Savings Bank. But we'd like to salute another special team, the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's all help support the Bulldogs as they head for number 1. Remember, you can bank with Newnan Savings Bank, and we can all bank on the Dogs. Newnan Savings Bank, where you're somebody special. In Coweta, Fayette, and Troup counties. Member FSLIC.
Keith Vitale, 3 times Karate World Champion.
Keith, if someone's interested in taking karate from one of your studios, where are you located?
Well, hopefully we have a location close to you. We have schools in Macon. As far north as Gwinnett, out in Douglasville, and then in the south part of town, we have them in College Park, Peachtree City, and Riverdale, Jonesboro, and also one in Stockbridge.
Visit a Vitale Karate studio near you.
Kentucky leading by a score of 7-0, and Georgia with 3rd and goal, the biggest third down play of the game coming up, Larry.
Dogs a touchdown behind. They are on the Cats 3 on 3rd down, and the stadium is up roaring for the Kentucky defense. And the Georgia band had started it by playing that Go Georgia Bulldogs short theme that they work. They're down in front of the Georgia section. Wayne Johnson, the quarterback. We're in a power I. Kentucky in a 6-4-1. Run Henderson in motion. Toss sweep the other way to Worley. He needs a block. He can't get it, and 4 blue shirts hit him on the 3. Big wide sweep over to the other side. Worley couldn't get anything. The blocking broke down. Holler and a linebacker, Jay Dortch, a senior end. And they'll bring it in and put it right back in the 3. 4th down, and we'll have to go for a field goal. They've stopped us again.
They ran the motion to the wide side of the field, and then they came back and tried to run the power to the left side, but they were running to the short side of the field, and frankly, it was just too jammed up. Kentucky played it well.
Worley couldn't get outside. 4th down, trailing 7-0 with 4:17 to go and a half, and Kentucky now is 7 men on the line. Casey going to try the field goal. Good. And we finally got on the scoreboard at 7-3. Timeout, 60-second local break. Bulldog Network.
Signal Realty, located at 28 Jackson Street, has the selling power you're looking for. As a member of the Metro Listing Service and Noonan's Multilist, their buyers and sellers can be found across town or across counties. List your home with Signal Realty and be sure you're getting maximum exposure of your property. You owe it to yourself to receive all you can from your equity in your home or business. Phone 251-2748 or the Atlanta line 577-5144. Signal Realty, 28 Jackson Street in Noonan.
The Video Tree in Jonesboro is quickly gaining a reputation in Clayton County as the supermarket of video stores. At the Video Tree, you never have to worry about a stagnant movie selection. They receive 125 new videos every month. Plus, there are multiple copies of all popular movies. Regular memberships are free, and there's over 4,000 movies to choose from. Stop in and see Jack Pruitt and all the fine people at the Video Tree in the Flint River Village Shopping Center on Terra Boulevard in Jonesboro.
4:09 showing on the clock. Kentucky leads it 7-3. The Dogs with a good drive as they went from their 46 down to the 3, and they only threw one pass on that entire drive, and that was on the very first play. After that, they had 10 straight running plays, but they just couldn't get it in when they got down to the 3. So Casey is now 1 for 1 on the day on his field goals, or rather 1 for 2 on his field goal attempts, as he puts the first 3 points on the board for the Dogs.
Alfred Rawls, Ivy Joe Hunter will be the deep backs for Kentucky. Casey kicks it very high, and it's going to be 4 or 5 yards in the end zone, and they're going to run it out. Ivy Joe Hunter coming up to the 5, and we hit him on inside the 10.
Whoa, was that a terrible decision?
He made a bad decision. From 4 or 5 yards back, he decided to slant off toward his left here to the press box. We hit him on the 8. Chuck Carswell hit him, and Kevin Brown hit him. And the Cats are in a hole down in their own 8. Ivy Joe Hunter should never have run that ball out. However, the back that went back there with him, it's his job to turn around also and put his hand on him and hold him in there and say, don't come out with it.
And even when he came out, he wasn't running straight up the field. He was running at an angle.
That's right. Here's Kentucky on their own 8-yard line. They lead 7-3 late in the half. Georgia's in a 5-3. 4 is going to give it to Ivy Joe Hunter at right tackle. He's out to the 14. They're blocking pretty well on that one side. They open that hole on the left side. Lewis and Tardit's in there, jamming the play up. Coming up to help the tackle over there. It's on the 14. Kentucky got 6 right away, 2nd and 4, trying to get out of the hole.
Jerry Bell of Kentucky, their defensive guard, who went out. He has a pinched nerve in his right shoulder, but they say he should return.
Kentucky on their own 14. They lead 7-3. 3:33 to go in a half. Murray and Hunter are the running backs. Now they're in a pro set for the first time. 4 going to give it to the second back, and Hunter cut in, and we hit him on about the 17. Ivy Joe Hunter faked the one man, get to the second man, countering inside. Lovelace in, grabbed him. Loris hit him. Webster, the linebacker, hit him on the 17. Kentucky's 3rd down, 1.5 yards. They lead 7-3. Kentucky playing a tough, hard, physical. You believe we were goal to go down there, and the other guys like 8.5 or 9.5 and couldn't get it in. On 3rd down on the 3, we couldn't get an inch. 3rd down, 1.5 yards. Kentucky on the 17. They're in a power I. They're going to have blocking. We crash and broke a tackle. Here comes Rawls for 5 for 10 and out of bounds. Somebody broke in. Webster, the linebacker, hit him 5 yards behind the line, but Alfred Rawls broke that tackle easy. He kind of ran by him, and Rawls got him out to the 26 and a big first down.
Targeting on a play for Georgia.
10 or 12 yards, first down, and Kentucky got out of the hole. They would have been punting into the wind in a bad field position. But now they're out on the 26-yard line, first down. 7-3 Kentucky, one wide out. 5-man front. 4 going to give it to Baker. Oh, 5. 10 yards before we hit him. He's up and still going to the 37. Beasley hit him. Al Baker, the young sophomore running back. They opened up a big hole. They found something on the left side of our line. And from the 26, Baker ruled dead. On the 36, they may have to measure. They're really working on that one side over there. Measurement here, Dixie Crystal Sugar scoreboard, Iowa 10, Purdue 7, second quarter. Notre Dame 7, Air Force 6 in the second quarter. Arkansas leading Houston 7-0 in the first quarter.
First down. Half the length of the football.
Clemson 3, North Carolina State 0 in the second quarter on the Dixie Crystal Sugar scoreboard. Kentucky got a first down to 36. They were in a hole down there inside of their 10, and they banged it out to the 36. Late in the half, 2:14. They're in an eye with 2 wideouts, 7-3. 4 is going to fake it and drop back to throw. They chase him. He throws it to the big fullback behind the line, complete close to the 40 before we knock him out. Big Andy Murray, the junior fullback out of Louisville, Kentucky. Called a safety valve thing over there on the right side. Vince Guthrie, the strong safety, hit him first. Ball up, though, almost to the 39. Give him about 4, close to 4. Second down, 6.5. Cats are up just about to the 40. Late in the half now.
Ford has been throwing to his tight end and his fullback a lot today. That's the second pass complete to the fullback. He's thrown 3 times to the tight end. He's 8 for 12, 123 yards.
3 wideouts, and they go to the eye on 2nd and 6. 4 fakes and drops back to throw. Passes to the left. He overthrew everybody in the Kentucky bench, incomplete.
Boy, was he wide open.
Phil Logan, the flanker, standing on the 45, open right in front of the Kentucky bench, and 4 threw it. 57, Kentucky going against that hard, cold wind. They lead 7-3.
He wound up like Brent Saberhagen on that one.
And yes, and a little bit like Wayne Johnson wound up on the one that Arthur Marshall dropped. Johnson threw it through his hands and his wrists and everything else. 3rd down and 6. Kentucky 3 wideouts. An off-shifted eye. 4 back to throw. Tardet's got him back in the 35 by getting his shoe as he fell. Tardet's dove and grabbed him down around the shoe low. Dogs trying to call time and stop the clock. They do with 1:45. Kentucky's going to be 4th and 11. Tardet's came around the blocker and just caught his shoe as he tried to step up inside. Time called here. 30-second local break on the Georgia Bulldog Network.
Do you get your insurance through an independent insurance agent like Fisher? Well, you should. As independent agents, they handle all kinds of insurance. Car, home, business, and life. And they're independent to choose the best policies for you from a number of strong, reliable companies. As independent agents, Fisher works for you, and when you have a claim, they're right there at 12 Greenville Street standing up for you. They're Fisher Insurance Agency. Come in and say hello, or better yet, give them a call at 253-3340. At Fisher, they work for you.
Georgia stops the clock, which shows 1:45. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. Kentucky leads at 7-3. And now Georgia's going to get the ball with pretty good field position, but definitely the clock is going to be against them. And here's what's always been an adventure for Kentucky of late. They're punting.
The punter, Jay Tizar. He got a good snap and steps in and kicks it very well into the wind, real high. Carswell on the 20 takes it. Can't get a block, hit on the 24. We blocked 1 man, but there were 2 more there. And the Dogs are way down the field, the wind on their back. 94 seconds in the half. They put it on the 24-yard line. Carswell stepped right inside 1 guy, and then the blocking broke down.
Well, that guy who had all kinds of trouble last week just booms one. You expect to have the ball somewhere around the 40 to 50-yard line, and here you are all the way back on your 24. So that didn't exactly turn out the way it was supposed to.
A high kick into the wind. Just a little bit of a spiral to it, too. A real good kick. Georgia on their own 24, 2-minute offense, and flag down. Run a toss sweep to Hampton, but we may already have committed a violation. We're going to try to hurry it up probably and come down the field with 91 seconds to go now. Penalty on Georgia. Boy, we haven't had any penalties in this whole first half.
That's first.
Not at all. 7-3, Kentucky leads. 5-yard penalty on the Dogs back to the 19.
Kentucky hurt themselves earlier this year with penalties in some ball games, but they haven't committed a single infraction thus far today.
Georgia on their own 19, 1st and 15, 91 seconds in the half as Todd Wheeler, the center, comes up and gets over the ball. Wide slot right, we're in an eye. Kentucky kind of a spread 5-man line. We get a little hole for Hampton, but they shut the hole on him. He started in and leaned to the left and couldn't move much. Got a couple, 2 or 3 yards. Let's see what they're going to give him. Let's give him 3, no more, and 3 to the 22. Christian Holt, the linebacker, and Vic Adams, the guard, hit him. It's not a 2-minute offense. The Dogs are back huddling. We're not going to snap it and jump it and try to hurry down the field. It's 2nd and 12 now with the ball on our own 22. We split 2 men out with an eye. Wayne Johnson looking at 5 men down, and the linebacker spread, puts a man in motion, goes to the full. Henderson comes in and pulls across the 25 to maybe the 27. But the clock is running. 7-3 Kentucky. Vic Adams, the right guard. Doug Hauser, the tackle on that last stop. A little Christian Holt, the linebacker. Dogs in the 26, got 4 more. Going to be 3rd down now and about 7. But the clock is running, however. Worley's going to come in. Hampton sits down. Hampton playing with a bad shoulder, not playing as much. And, of course, he's missed the game also. Worley and Henderson are the backs in an eye, and Wayne Johnson back to pass. Going to throw a long bomb to Arthur Marshall, incomplete. Marshall and the defensive back bumping down on the Cats' 31-yard line, David Johnson. Wayne overthrew him a little. And with 14 seconds in the half, it'll be 4th down and 7, and the Dogs will have to kick it back.
Georgia tried to set him up for the long one, but Kentucky, of course, was very leery of the fact that might happen. They had pretty good coverage on the play. And now Georgia will surrender the football, and Kentucky will have time for probably one play, and the half will end.
Chris Talbert is a single safety. Kentucky has put 10 on the line, and they rush everybody, but he got it off. Good Hester kick. Real good kick. Talbert way back. And fair catch in the vicinity of the 25 with 6 seconds left in the half. We've had 3 punts in this half, I believe, 3 or 4. They've all been very, very good. Hester's had 2 boomers now. He just kicked one, just go by the line of scrimmage, 51 yards net. But Kentucky just had a surprising kick some moments ago into the wind. Just like Hester earlier went into the wind very well.
Kentucky calling for the fair catch. They want to stop the clock. 6 seconds remaining, so let's look for the bomb here.
Kentucky now loads 3 men wide left, actually 4. They have no back set. Dogs go into a 3-man defensive front, and 4 is back to throw, and Tardis comes up and grabs him. He breaks the tackle and throws a long bomb. We knock it up in the air, and a Kentucky